let's talk about this second episode of this season of Life After Lockup, starting off with Kerok and Britney. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really buying what they're trying to sell us from what we've seen so far this season. You mean to tell me that Kerok decided to go ahead and put a deposit and first and last month's rent down on a place without even getting it approved by his PO first, and then once they find out that they can't even move, just at the very last minute, which I've noticed this is a common storyline twist they like to take on this show. I mean, that's what happened with Justine and Michael too when they were about to move to Las Vegas. You know, nothing can ever just go smooth and easy with this show, and of course they found out last minute they couldn't move, and eventually it got approved. But that's what they're trying to act like is happening with Britney and Kerok now. And what makes me question it even more is the fact that after Kerok was told he can't move to Texas until it's approved by his probation, well, actually they denied it, so now they have to try to appeal it and see if they can get them to change their minds. They claim that the PO offered them a government-assisted hotel room. Where do they do that at? Because I've been on probation before, and there's times that I was homeless, times I got out of rehab and had nowhere to lay my head, and not one time was I offered a government-assisted hotel room. And I've asked numerous other people who've been on probation, and nobody has ever heard of anything like that. And you guys let me know if you have ever heard of a government-assisted hotel room before, because I have never. And they ended up heading to the hotel, and they pull up, and of course the hotel is like a 1-star, 2-star hotel. It looked like a Red Roof Inn or something like that, or a Econo Lodge. And they go in there, and Brittany's kind of scared because of the location, and she's smart. As soon as they got in there, they started looking for bed bugs, because that's like one of the first things you got to do when you get in a room like that. They claim that it looked good and they didn't see anything suspicious, and Britney said, look, I'm fine as long as I'm with you, I can make this work. And then they had to leave and go help Kerok's mom pack, because she still thinks that they're moving to Texas today. I forgot to mention the part when they were at the hotel. They were sitting there, and Kerok was like, well, I better call the landlord since we're not able to move to Texas, and let her know what's going on. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry, we can't move. They turned me down. And then he asked if he would get his deposit back. And the landlord was like, no, that's what you paid us to hold the rental until you can get down here. And then he asked if he would get his first and last month's rent back. I mean, I guess it's worth a shot. You'll never know. You know, the answer is always going to be no if you don't ask. But at the same time, common sense shows if you rented before, you are not getting your money back, because it is not that landlord's fault that you waited till the last minute and really didn't, you know, cross all your I's and T's before moving down there. And the landlord and the rental company shouldn't have to be the ones to pay the price for your mistake. And then after they leave the hotel, they go to finish helping Kerok's mom pack. And Kerok's mom was pretty feisty and sassy, because she was just exhausted, because we all know how much moving freaking sucks. I hate moving. Then to top it off, the mom felt like Kerok or his brother weren't pulling their weight. They weren't really helping the mom out when it came to moving all her stuff like she was hoping. She probably thought that they were going to be helping her move stuff into the truck all day, but instead they're busy filming and doing confessionals all day, you know, and they have to reshoot the same scene over and over again. So she was frustrated because she felt like she had to do majority of the work, and they just like threw all this stuff in the trucks. There really wasn't no organization to it whatsoever. They're just trying to get it and get it done as soon as possible. Now this is the part, if the storyline is true, where Kerok was dead wrong, because he watched his mom struggle all day long, packing and cussing out the cameras because they were trying to film her when she didn't have her wig on. And he sits there and watches her and doesn't say anything, knowing that she's packing for nothing because he can't even move down there right now with Britney. And he doesn't say anything until they got everything packed up and they're ready to jump in the trucks and start driving to Texas. And even then, Kerok wasn't going to say anything. Like, he looked like he was about to just, like, drive until, like, they hit the state line or something and then break the news to her. But he knew that he couldn't put it off any longer. And he finally said, Mom, we can't go. It did not get approved. And his mom reacted just like I expected. She was upset. She's at a loss of what to do because this is the last night she was allowed to stay in her place, and now she has nowhere to go. And this is why Kerok is dead wrong, because him and Britney been knowing for a few days. They had time to prepare and figure out a plan B and get this little government assisted hotel room in quotations. And now he's letting his mom know, and he did not give her any time to prepare whatsoever. I at least hope that they offer her a spot to sleep in the government assisted hotel room. If nothing else, if I was her, I would just go ahead and go down to Texas myself. I mean, he's already paid the deposit and first and last month's rent. At least get something out of your money and then have the brother go down there and help her unpack. But I understand it's still not going to be the same without Kerok and Britney there. I like Kerok and Britney. I think they're cute together. I wish them the best, much success. But at the same time, I feel like they just don't got enough going on for a whole season of Life After Lockup. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they might prove me wrong next week or a few episodes from now. But I saw someone make a valid point. I think it was either like on Reddit or Facebook. And they're like, you know, they could have just kept what they got going on for Where They Now segment, you know, just like tell us what they've been up to for 20-30 minutes instead of trying to find storylines for a whole season. But now let's talk about Bianca and Daniel. There wasn't a lot with these two. Pretty much they hooked up, and I guess Daniel got off in her a few different times, and they had this plan that he was going to get out, he was going to let his little swimmers come inside her, and they had a plan for her to take some plan B so she doesn't get pregnant. But they have been talking about having kids together, and Bianca's got baby fever like crazy, and she keeps pressuring Daniel to not let her take the plan B and just go ahead and, you know, roll the dice and see if she gets pregnant a month from now. And Daniel's not willing to take that chance. He's like, look, neither one of us are ready for a baby. I mean, he doesn't even have a job yet. He literally hasn't even been out for a few days. This is not the time. But she's just young-minded. I don't think she really thinks things through before she jumps the gun on things, and she's just living in a fantasy land thinking, oh, we'll just have a baby and live happily ever after. But it's not that easy. And here's the thing, she made such a big deal about not being able to quit drinking, and she wasn't willing to sacrifice drinking for Daniel. You know, we know he has had drinking problems in the past, and she was going back and forth with his family and other people because she's like, look, I'm not ready to give drinking up. I don't care if he's got issues. You know, I feel like I can still do what I want because I'm not the one that's got issues. But if you can't stop drinking for Daniel, then how are you going to stop drinking 9 months for a baby? I just don't think that they're ready for all the sacrifices and everything that comes along with having a baby. And then we find out that Daniel already has a kid out there. And I guess he hasn't been in his kid's life for years because he was in prison. But he's hoping to eventually be able to reconnect with them. I can't remember if there's a boy or girl, so that's why I'm calling them them. I don't mean anything disrespectful by that. But yeah, so Daniel was smart though. He's thinking with the right head. He's like, look, we need a slower roll. Let's just take the plan B for now. And I really hope that they figure out like a birth control option, because you can't be popping plan Bs like vitamins or like birth control and make this like your steady, you know, second option so you don't get pregnant. Those things are only meant to take every now and then. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Bianca is ready for a baby? Do you guys think that Britney and Kerok, do you think their storyline is believable? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you guys think about everything else. give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.